Dr. Hannah White is with me from the Institute for Government, a very experienced former civil servant. So you'll be fascinated, as we all are, by what's happening, what's been happening. Normally, of course, a transition at Downing Street goes after a general election from one party to the other. But we've become used to this, haven't we, over the last few years, of the same party getting rid of their leader, electing a new one, and then becoming Prime Minister. What's happening behind the scenes?
Well, as you say, the Conservative Party seems to have got rather used to changing Prime Minister mid-term. We've had now 4 Prime Ministers in the last 6 years. And behind the scenes, the civil servants will be preparing for the new incoming government. They will be, over the summer, have been preparing, talking to the 2 different camps, the Sunak camp and the Truss camp, in anticipation of each of their possible policy platforms, trying to provide them with the information they need. But it's not really until you actually step through that door into Downing Street and become Prime Minister that you're really equipped with the full power of the government machine, which enables you to step up and become Prime Minister.
A couple of phrases that we've heard a lot over the last couple of weeks: hitting the ground running and a very, very, perhaps historically full in-tray. They're huge challenges. Are they unachievable challenges?
Well, you know, no Prime Minister necessarily has it easy. Yes, there do seem to be a considerable number of challenges, and very immediate challenges, and those have been exacerbated by the fact that we've had this long leadership campaign which has been over the summer recess. There's been a sense, I think, in the country that there hasn't been government. Now, that's obviously not true. Boris Johnson has been our Prime Minister, the civil service has been working away, but that decision-making power, which seems so crucial at this time with the rising cost of living, hasn't been there, and everything's been waiting for this day when Liz Truss steps into number 10.
Is that what really happens? You know, as you say, there has been work going on, and you can't certainly say crisis what crisis. We know there is a crisis. Talking to people around the country, a very, very real one that affects real lives. But the work's been taking place, but there's been that sense, hasn't there, that nothing has been happening. How should we look at that?
No, I mean, the work will have been going
Yes.
on with the civil service. They will have been primarily, I think, planning for 2 different possible futures, but preparing options, trying to get all the material in place so that when Liz Truss, her new Chancellor, and her cabinet that she sets up are in place, they have all the information that she may need. And they will have been talking to her. They will have been talking behind the scenes. We've heard that the Cabinet Secretary, Simon Case, has been down at Chevening for a long, for the last couple of weeks, talking to her, as well as also talking to the Sunak campaign, but a clear indication that they've been trying to prepare to see what she wants to do and trying to help her think through how she's going to do it.
And do you expect the new government to be very different, to have, obviously the policies are broadly the same? She's already said she'll govern as a Conservative, sticking to a lot of the manifesto pledges that were made in 2019, but will it be any different?
Well, we're waiting to see what the style of government is. As you say, she's still governing to the same manifesto, the manifesto that the Conservatives were elected on. She'll want to put her own priorities on that, and she'll need to do that quickly because she's got to deliver. She made it very clear yesterday that she intends to have the next election in 2024. I think she was trying to put to bed rumours that she might go for an early election. Of course, she still might, but she's got to prioritise. But what we're waiting to see is the tone of her government. She was very clear yesterday. She talked about her friend Boris Johnson. She wants in some ways to provide a sense of continuity to the party, that she's not going to just ditch everything they liked about Boris Johnson. But I think she'd be well advised to make sure that she really sets up number 10 to help her deliver. And we've had some reporting in the press that she's planning to really strip back the operations in number 10. She needs to be careful doing that. Yes, potentially it can get smaller, but there are key functions that you need around you as Prime Minister in number 10 if you're going to deliver. And she's made a big play about how she is a person who delivers. She needs the tools in government to enable her to do that.
Dr. Hannah White, thank you very much indeed for your expertise this morning.